Hi and welcome everyone to another episode of Hobo Prepper. Friar Tuck here. Okay, so today I want to talk about being aware of your surroundings and making sure that you're not going to get pickpocketed or robbed even while you're right there in a store. Today I went up to Racetrack, which is a little gas station about a mile and a half from my house. And when I got up there, I went into the bathroom. There was a kid there on the blow dryer, and so I used the bathroom, come in, wash my hands, do the whole thing. He's still doing it. As soon as I get done, he gets ready to walk out the door. But the thing is he wants to come in behind me, and I'm like, nope, because I already saw this coming. And this is something that you should be aware of. That person, the first red flag that I saw when I walked into that bathroom was, okay, there's a kid there, and he just kind of, most people use the paper towels, they use their hands, and they just do a quick dry and get out the door. So the fact that that kid was there, and then by the time I got done going pee, the kid was still there playing around on the thing, just keep pushing it and kind of like facing it, waiting. So that was the first sign. You need to kind of be aware of your surroundings and of the things that you see. The other thing is that as I went to go out the door, the reason why he wanted to get behind me is because if you're behind somebody, it's easier to pull stuff out from behind them, especially if you're really good at a sleight of hand. And so because that kid was standing there, my first instinct was, no, let this kid go in front of you because you need to keep an eye on him. There's some other stuff that happened throughout the store. He was looking for a quick score, thought that he could quickly get over on me for whatever reason. I will tell you that as an individual, it doesn't matter if you're in Walmart, the grocery store, if you're in Target, it doesn't matter wherever you go. There are going to be people, and most of this is actually the younger generation, the up-and-coming generation, not millennials, but was it Gen Z now? With these people coming up, these kids are being taught to be militant in the schools. It's not just happening in Oregon. It is happening throughout the rest of the country. They're just trying to focus it on Oregon because it's a conservative rally cry. But even the stuff that's happening in Chicago is happening all across the country. They're just not talking about it. They just want to point at Chicago as if it's completely contained there, which it isn't. Just like Skid Row is no longer contained to LA. It's already moved its way to Denver. It's moving itself east, so on and so forth. So there is also a little bit that you can do as far as your clothes to be able to protect yourself from people like that. So let me see if I could step back here enough. Oops. Let me see if I can step back. So if you see these shorts right here, okay, they are mesh. And you see these the pockets, it's got the holes in it. Now these pockets are very clingy, so anytime I go to pull something out, it's going to automatically. So this is something that kind of gives you an indicator that somebody's been in your pocket if your pocket is out. Even when I stick my hand in there, I kind of got to wiggle it out a little bit just because of how well it grips. Also, I'm wearing shorts, which means I do not have any back pockets. And because I don't have back pockets, that is an easy way for you to be able to get pickpocketed. So everything's here in these two pockets, and I'm going to feel it if you do it. Plus, these shorts, they have enough grip around the leg area to where when I'm walking with my phone and my wallet, I can feel them. I put one in one side and one in the other side. And if I don't feel one as I'm walking or the other as I'm walking, then then I know that something's up. So these are some things that you can do with your clothes or the type of clothes that you do. And if you wear jeans, it's still just as secure. You're going to probably want to put your wallet on a chain if you don't already have a chain, or you're going to want to put it in your front pocket and kind of have it in a place to where you can feel it, and if somebody goes in there to take it, you're going to feel it. So jeans the same way. The way it is, you will be able to know by the touch and the feel because you're paying attention to that as you go along. So this is just a suggestion to be able to protect yourself as you're out and about in your everyday life to prevent the thieves, the junkies, and the gang members from stealing the stuff that you work so very hard. One of my biggest frustrations is every time I buy a new phone, it always manages to get stolen. But if I get a hand-me-down, or if I get a version older, nobody touches it. That's another thing that you can do, especially with your cell phone. Make sure that you, like, when I was looking to replace my iPhone after it got stolen because I had a 10, I just went to the iPhone 8, because the iPhone 8 it was still good for me, and it was a couple of generations back, so that I didn't have to worry about other people wanting to steal it. Because the thing is the thieves want the latest and the greatest. So always make sure that you get a few years models older. Make sure you buy something used, and if it's a little scratched up, it's just that makes it way more secure. What we're gonna do is I've talked about my nomadic lifestyle. And one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to show you my basic get up. Let me show you my bike here. This is the Scott Aspect 950. Now, I will show you some things that I've done to it. So as you see right there, that is a bike pump that attaches to the frame. That's less weight. And then I also have my water bottle there, and I have, I need to get myself a new chain. But the thing is when it comes to chains, or when it comes to securing your bike with a bike lock, it's more about the other deterrents that you put on it than being able to put an expensive lock on it. And one of the big deterrents is this right here. Let me take you back here. As you see this right here, this is my bike rack, or you can call it a rear seat rack, or whatever you want. But those 3 bags there total for a total of 75 liters. So it's just as big as any good backpack. And the thing is I can get that. I get that in at about 35 pounds. And one of the other things is so this clamps into 6 spots. But once I get over here, okay, then it also comes into a backpack. Now this is the top is where I put all of my sleeping gear. So I put all my sleeping gear in there. I put my tools here, and I put my clothes and my food over here, and anything else that I might need usually goes over here on the right. Now these are like 27 a piece, so you can only put so much in there, and plus they also have another pocket which allows you to compartmentalize even more. Now I have compartmentalized, so this top part is where I put, like, because I need to eat along the way, so I put my food in there so that I can eat it, and that way it's got quick and easy access. Also, I put certain bike tools in there, such as my Allen wrench, just my Allen wrench and my multi-purpose tool are the 2 things that I keep up there. Now I usually also have a saddlebag up here. Now this is where I usually keep my valuables. So I'm gonna have my wallet, my change, my cords, all the small little knick-knack stuff that I can't put in there will end up going into one of these saddlebags. And that's about another 3 pounds that you're adding when you add your wallet and like maybe some other knick-knacks, change, stuff like that. Now this right here, this is extremely secure. This is one of my best buys from Amazon. So this is actually meant for motorcycles, which is why it's so strong and durable. And now you can clamp it on. It does come with adjusters for this bike. You can find it down in the description, the link for it. But this is definitely, if you're wanting to be able to go, because see, people try and take it, they're going to end up ripping your handle off. They're going to end up messing with your handlebars before they can rip this off, because what they've got to do is they've got to be able to flip this around and then pull this out in order to be able to release it. So it's a 2-step release. So if you're riding by, nobody can just come in there and take your stuff. Plus, it keeps it secure. That way, if you're on bumpy roads and stuff like that. Now, I will tell you a okay buy that I made, and that is this. So this is solar power. This comes with 3 parts. So it comes with this. It also has, as you see, a horn. And if you saw back here, this light right here, as you see, it's all LED, so that I can do it. But that is actually a 3-piece package. I spent $20 on it. Now, see, this right here is supposed to be solar. I don't know if it's just because I'm not outside enough or what, but this thing is not charging enough to be during the day for me to be able to use it. Like if I needed to use it every night, or if it starts getting really dark really early before I get to my spot, this thing is not going to be good. So I do have a power brick that I have, and that power brick, I can plug it in. But I will tell you that, yeah, I have to use that power brick to power this, plus my cell phone. So you need to be limited on the amount of electronics you have. I know a lot of people are talking about getting electric bikes, but where does that energy come from? It's just like anything else. Where does it come from, and how easy is it to reproduce and to be able to get it? I mean, yeah, you can have a bunch of solar stuff, but you only have so much space in here, okay? Because you got to realize this bike right here can only hold 300 pounds. On top of the 40 pounds, actually it's like 30 pounds because it's a mid-grade or entry-level bike. This bike was $1,000 retail. I paid $650 for used. But as you see, you have to put your whole life in this, and the last thing you want to do is be carrying solar panels. Now, it might make your life a little bit easier having that electric bike. You might be able to get a little bit more distance, but then you also got to look at all the extras that it's going to take to be able to maintain it. So sometimes an electric bike may not necessarily be the best bet for you. But if you look at it this way, you have to pay for gas or you have to pay for fuel. And in riding a bike, your fuel is your food. So that kills two birds with one stone. Now, instead of paying your gas bill in dinosaur juice, now you're paying for it in quality food that you get to eat and burn off while you're riding this, following the weather patterns or going wherever it is that you want to go. And this is just one aspect. So up here, what I like to do is I like to keep all of my sleep gear. So as you see, I have my tent undercover is what I like to call it. That way, if there's anything in there, because of how thin the floor is, I don't want it to puncture it. And I'm going to show you guys the tent and the self-inflating mattress pad so that you can kind of see my basic setup so that I can sleep anywhere, go anywhere, and do anything that I need to do because I have the necessary equipment. Because at a bare minimum, I have a sleeping bag, and at maximum, I've got shelter if I've got a place where I can set it up. So let me show you guys this tent. I'll show you here in a minute. Okay, as you can see, I have got the tent set up. The screen is on the other side. But as you can see, let me see if I can zoom out. Nope, I can't zoom out. But as you can see, this is just enough room for one person and their gear, as you can see here. And as you see, it's mesh all the way around. That way, if you're on a warm night like it is here in the south, you can get your mosquito net up essentially, and get a cool breeze so that you can actually stay cool. And if you look over here, this is my rain cover, which, as you look down here, clamps. So with that being said, that is that. So let me show you the self-inflating mattress pad. This is a self-inflating mattress pad that you see the link to down in the description. Okay, so it folds out like this, as you see. So here's the top part. Okay. Normally this thing actually cooperates more, but apparently nothing's working properly. So what you do is, so I'm going to take my foot for this. Okay, so you're going to clip this, and there you go. And it's just a little sponge, and you're going to inflate it all the way up. Now this thing will add about 10 degrees to your overall temperature. So don't use this unless it's a cool night, otherwise you will be sweating. So what I like to do is, as I'm pushing down the little plug right here is that I like to close that off so that it is nice and compact. Also, I fill it all the way up. Now, there is one thing that I would strongly recommend. So this might be too firm for you to start off with. So if you see that that plug there, you're just going to slightly release some, and it will actually soften the mattress for you. As you see, it can fit directly in, and that is how much room on the sides that I get. But that's only enough room for gear, or if two people want to sleep very close together and have everything at their foot or their head. Now, I sleep on my left side. That's why my head's up there. There's also a little bit of a slant, which is part of the reason why I placed it like this. So my head's up here and my feet are down here, and all I have to do is put in my sleeping bag and my pillow, and that is all the gear that I have for my sleeping bag, or for my sleeping gear. So let me show that to you real quick. Okay, so this is the Teton 20-degree sleeping bag that you hear me talking about. This thing is really comfortable, turns into a mummy bag, and with this, if it's really warm and you want to, you can kind of use it as a blanket. Now let me show you my pillow. All right, so I had because I've had this bedding set for so long. This feeling that I get from this pillowcase is what helps me go to sleep. So this is a Teton pillow, and it's cotton or polyester, whatever. It's really easy, and it's actually very comfortable. But, it's just like a pair of shoes. You kind of got to work it in. Now, it comes with its own pillowcase, and this is what I chose. I chose to go with the cotton. But because of needing to have something that's familiar to help me go to sleep, I chose to use this. So I sleep with this, and so this is my full sleeping gear. This is what I have in that top backpack pouch, along with my laptop, which it has its own little compartment for. And then all of my tools and everything else like that, and my food and my clothes go down in the lower bags. So this is just a thought. Everything you can find it down in the description. If you have any questions, ask them down in the comment section. Will be more than happy to answer them for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.